Taylor, put this on the poll. Are the best two words in sports Game 7, even if Game 7 includes Seattle and Toronto? Put that on the poll. Big football weekend. What are the better two words in sports? Put this on the poll as well. What are the better two words in sports today? Game 7 or Bucks-Lions?
Well, it's clearly Bucks-Lions.
Yeah.
I was looking at that game yesterday only in a sense of like, oh, wow, that's a Game 6. There might be a Game 7 in this series. And I said, I don't think I want to see that. I don't think I need to. So I'm with you. I don't think it's the two best words in sports when it's a couple of teams that I'm like, Vladdy Guerrero Jr. And I said this proves to you how little I've watched baseball or even the Toronto team, especially. Guerrero, I was like, well, he's picked up some pounds because last time I remember him, he was really skinny. And now he's a little heavier. And that was my assessment of the entire ALCS. But now we got a Game 7. How about that?
Right. Best two words in sports, I think. I'm not even certain. I have no idea.
It feels like Vlad Guerrero's been that size for...
Has he?
His entire life.
Yeah.
Again, further proof that I have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to him because I remember him being a little thinner.
I think you're thinking of his dad, who was very skinny. His son, not so skinny. Right?
But I remember thinking, wow, he looks just like his dad, is built just like his dad. Now, I don't think that anymore.
I think you're thinking of Vlad Guerrero Jr. in the home run derbies with his dad when he was a little kid.
No. That's not what I'm thinking of. But either way, I'm probably wrong.
Izzy, what grabbed your attention? It was a wild weekend of football. College. The Canes game feels like a month ago. It was on a Friday night. They lost to Louisville. I got a text from T-Bob that simply read, Krista Fraud.
I'd almost forgot about that one. I started my weekend. I don't know what it is, Stu. And I don't dislike anybody. I don't want to hate on people just because they're fans, right? Yeah. But there's something about ever since I left Miami to go to school at the University of Florida when I was 18 years old. There's something about fans that just get annoying a little bit, right?
Right.
And so whenever
they didn't go to the U, that's what's annoying about them. That's
really,
but
I respect that.
They didn't go to school there.
I get that though. Like you grew up around them when they were winning everything, and it is what it is. But I have this weird just happiness every time they get upset. And
so do I.
It's just, it's so cruel. It's just deep down inside. Like Anthony is a huge fan and he was sad on Friday and I had a big old smile on my face and I don't understand why.
It's an odd thing that I do that right after they lose, the first thing that I do is reach out to the opposing team's media relations staff and try to book their head coach. Like that's right after they lost. I celebrated by sending an interview request for Jeff Brohm, the head coach at Louisville. I want him on. I'm hopeful that we'll get him on today or tomorrow. I will keep you posted on that. But it's a weird tick that I have. Loses, and I request the opposing coach.
Jeff Brohm, 4-0 against top 5 ranked opponents in the regular season.
I learned these things watching this game. This guy really steps up against the big opponents. Yes. And look, I don't want to brag, but I'm gonna. Because I've been saying all season long, you guys with this Carson Beck for their Heisman stuff, like, get out of here with that. Like, if he were to have won the Heisman, it would have been the most obvious case of quarterback of a really good team just getting the Heisman because he's nowhere near the best player in the country. He's not even the best player at his position, but obviously nowhere near the best player in the country. And if he would have just kept skating by on an undefeated Miami team without having a disastrous game like that and actually won the Heisman, it would have been a disaster. Now we got my boy Mendoza probably leading, right? If we check the FanDuel odds, probably leading for the Heisman. And I was telling, I didn't tell Sean McDonough this. I was thinking about this when we talked to Sean McDonough. But I definitely
this is something you were thinking
this.
about saying to Sean McDonough when Sean McDonough was on with us, but you did have the balls to say it.
Correct, because it was his first time on, and I was like, I really want to warm up to Sean McDonough. I don't want him to hate me. But he really, really wanted to see Carson Beck do well, you could tell. And then the Bear. You could tell all season long really wanted Carson Beck to do well. And everybody else that you hear announcing, it's almost like they're fighting that fight for him. Yeah, he was wronged at Georgia. He's so much better than that guy. He shouldn't have gotten all the blame. Nah, he was awful. He was awful. And then you hear him, did he blame the last, was it 5 interceptions? Or was it just 4?
I think it was 4 interceptions. Yeah, it could have been 6.
So he blamed the 4th of his interceptions on his receiver when I don't know. I saw that with my two eyes. It didn't seem like it was the receiver's fault. He was throwing off his back foot and just kind of lobbing it up there.
Also, don't do that. Don't blame the receiver. I mean, you're the guy making the money. You're the quarterback. You're the big man on campus.
Transfer.
Like when you throw interceptions, they're on you, not on him. You know?
Yeah. So that one was just like, but here's where it got me the most is like, I was smiling and I was like, man, there's some people having some bad days tonight. And then I was like, yeah, not really. Because they'll still get into the 12-team playoff. Probably, I don't even know what the ACC standings are. Are they going to get into the ACC championship game, Taylor? This loss is not really as cutting, not really as devastating as some of the previous Miami losses. But what it does is it now puts them on the edge for every single game from here on out because Cristobal can lose.
They lost their
every
cushion,
single game.
right? Yes,
and Carson Beck cannot elevate a team without Malachi Toney getting the ball every single time. So it is kind of satisfying to watch.
So the problem right now for Miami is they no longer control their own destiny in the ACC because Georgia Tech is still undefeated in conference play. Virginia is still undefeated in conference play.
Right.
SMU is still undefeated in conference play. And then there's a bunch of teams that are sitting there with one loss, including a Louisville team that Miami now doesn't have the headbreaker or the tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker, head, yeah.
My question, though.
I like calling it a headbreaker, by the way. Anyway.
If you're Penn State and you're watching Louisville, Miami, Penn State's biggest problem has been, hey, we just can't beat the top 5 teams. James Franklin, before this year, he was great at beating the Northwesterns. He was great at beating the UCLAs. He doesn't anymore, so that's why we fire him. His problem, beating the top 5 teams. Who doesn't have that problem? We saw it in the broadcast. It's Jeff Brohm. Could Jeff Brohm be the guy that gets Penn State over the hump where it's like, hey, we bring in, a coach for the Monday through Friday, and then the top 5 games come, bring out the Brohm.
Wow, that's a real headbreaker right there.
Why'd you tap your right hand like you were going to the bullpen? What were you doing there? I mean,
that, exactly.
So Monday through Friday, you have a James Franklin coach, and then for your big games, you're going to the bullpen, you're bringing out the Brohm.
So what Taylor's saying, if you don't have one coach, you need 2. So it's a complete reversal of the 2 quarterbacks rule.
Right, but why are we bringing out the Brohm? Why is there a "the" in front of Brohm?
I don't know. It just sounds like a good name.
No, like he's some special coach that you only bring him in certain occasions, right?
He seems to be.
Close your eyes. Imagine you're at Beaver Stadium.
Yes.
And now it's like a closer coming in.
Right.
Like Enter Sandman starts playing for a top 5 team, and you're like, oh my God, that's Jeff Brom's music, and he comes running out. We need some kind of like running down the hill like Dabo does, where he makes it all about him, because Jeff Brohm kind of deserves these moments when he keeps beating these top 5 teams.
Right. So it's only against top 5 teams that we bring out the Brohm. It's not. It's not against a top 10 team. No, it's not 5 through 10. It's just 1 through 5.
You're not bringing out Mariano Rivera into 10-0 game. Like, you don't waste him there.
I'm trying to think like through movies. Is there something special that someone would bring out in the event, like break glass in case of an emergency? He's essentially saying break glass in case of an emergency, and what you're breaking and bringing out is Brohm. The Brohm.
Kind of sounds like a broom to sweep away the opponent. I'm not going to lie. When I closed my eyes, I couldn't get to Beaver Stadium. I did not know what that was like. I was just surrounded by people wearing white. Didn't really feel right. It was weird.
What if it's a team just outside the top 5? Like they're ranked 6th or 7th. They weren't expected to be there. You have a game against them. That's your Monday through Friday guy. You don't go to the prom.
They don't have a stat of him being 5-0 against top 6 teams. It's a top 5 team situation. That's when you bring them out, the proven commodity. There is a lot more Billy news to come, but we'll get to that in a second. In the NFL, Stu, a real headbreaker here. Yeah. How do the New York Giants score 32 points and lose a game where it feels like you had the game-winning drive and lose to a team that scored all 33 of its points in the fourth quarter? The Denver Broncos did that. They scored all of their points in the fourth quarter against the Giants, and it was the most mind-boggling way to lose ever. Like, if the Giants didn't have the good feelings of Jackson Dart right now and maybe some Cam Scatterboo and everything else that they're doing, even without Malik Neighbors, this would be like tear your head off frustrating because Jackson Dart, Stu, had a game-winning drive. He was helped out with some penalties, whatever, but had the game-winning drive, scored a touchdown with 37 seconds left, went to the sideline and said, this was our bleeping game.
Yep.
And then his kicker missed his second extra point of the game.
They have kicking problems there, yeah.
So if his kicker just makes one of those, you're probably guaranteed overtime. If he makes both of them, you've got your game.
Yes.
Instead, you give up 33 points in the fourth. Your quarterback does everything he needs to do, and you lose that freaking game. That, to me, like if that team was a contender, if that team had any sort of positive momentum going forward, really thinking about making the playoffs this year, this would be like New York would just be on fire because it was that devastating of a loss.
Giants up 19-0 going into the fourth quarter. Giants at one point up 26-8 with 10-14 to go in that game. Giants take the lead, as you pointed out. They miss an extra point. Denver comes down. They win that game. Denver scores 33 points in the fourth quarter. That was the game of the year in the NFL, was it not? Like that. Are you saying it wasn't, Taylor? I know the Giants aren't very good, but when do you ever see that happen?
What was the first game of the year? Wasn't that Ravens-Bills game kind of magical?
That was a good game. Yeah.
What was the game
That's
last
when we thought the Ravens were good. I mean, now they stink. I'm not even certain the Bills are good. This is crazy, this NFL season.
What was the game last week that we called the game of the year?
I don't know. There's a game of the year every week. I mean, I love
That's more what I was laughing at.
Wait, which one was it?
I think it was the Thursday night from this week, wasn't it? Wasn't it Aaron Rodgers' game?
Was that the game of the year? It was one of the games of the years.
Now you're seeing the problem. You've been calling every game the game of the year.
Yeah, but that was special.
It was no, it wasn't. If you actually watched the game, that was penalties that really kept things alive that they shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
It's not like Jackson Dart was okay. He was navigating the pocket pretty well, broke free from it occasionally. The thing that we ask this question every week about Trevor Lawrence, I think we can give up that bit. Trevor Lawrence, not good. Not good.
I'm going to ask it again. I don't care. Sims on Thursday. I'll ask it.
Can you also ask if Bo Nix is any good? Because
I will. Yes.
I don't know what it is about him. He feels like the perfect caricature quarterback. Like you'd like if he was a doll in like a G.I. Joe box and it said NFL quarterback, it's Bo Nix.
Right.
But I don't really know what he does especially well. I guess he can make all the throws, but he's not really showing off this, cannon of an arm. He obviously can navigate an offense and run an offense. He's run several. He was in college forever, and now he's doing this in the NFL for Sean Payton, so he can do that. But I don't trust the guy to carry me through an NFL game.
He's the only quarterback in NFL history to throw for 2 touchdown passes and run for 2 touchdowns in a quarter.
So he's Klay Thompson of the NFL, but somehow I still don't think he's any good. 27 of 50 for 279 with 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. And you're like, oh, okay, that's a pretty good game in 1995. But today it's I have no idea if that was a good performance from him.
The Broncos are 5-2. They're atop the AFC West. But you're right. I have no idea if Bo Nix is going to be great. I know he's decent. I know he's better than we expected. I have no idea if Bo Nix is going to be a great quarterback or at this juncture is considered to even be very good by NFL experts, by people who do this for a living. I have no idea. It's a very fair question. I don't
think he's being elevated by the people around him. It's not like he's got this ridiculous receiving core or these, amazing running backs. So he is a good leader. He's probably the opposite of Tua in this respect, and it doesn't have all the tools, but has a leadership ability.
Mm-hmm.
The Broncos didn't win, though. The Giants lost.
Did they put it on the poll? Did the Broncos win or did the Giants lose?
I think talk about an around the horn staple. Credit or blame game. I think this is definitely a blame game. I think, yes, scoring 33 points in the fourth quarter is crazy, but one of them comes off of just a bad interception from Jackson Dart. Another one off of just a bad 3 and out. Not really using the clock at all and giving the team that you're playing against every opportunity to come back and win. Right. I think more blame goes to the Giants.
Stu, I have a stat for you. NFL teams won 1,602 straight games when leading by 18 plus points in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes left.
Wow, something had to give. I mean,
They were due.
Right. I'm sorry. I got my I got him wrong. It's Monday. I'm tired after football. but they were due is what I meant to say.
I think either one you could
set me up perfectly for it too. It's this fucking asshole I am.
But that's what I think Bo Nix has to be, like the extension of the coach type of guy, the John Stockton, if you will. I think he is that for quarterbacks. And that's why, you know, when you're playing against a team like the Giants who have a tendency to find ways to lose, find mistakes, that's when Bo Nix is going to come up and capture the flag and be like, I got this win because I don't make those crazy mistakes.
Right. He's got all the leadership stuff down. Like he's got all of that. He's got it down. His dad played quarterback at Auburn, so he's the son of a quarterback who played in the SEC. But let's not discount what Bo Nix has done, is he? Because no one expected a lot out of Bo Nix. Rookie year, 3,800 yards, 29 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, ran for 4 more. So 33-12 his rookie year. And so far this year, 14 total touchdowns, 11 passing, 3 rushing, and only 4 interceptions. And his team's good. Like, I don't think and the Broncos were not good when Bo Nix got there, you know?
Yeah. And again, if you look at the players around him, is that maybe they're underrated, or is it him saying, okay, I'm pretty good at this, I can handle this?
Right.
I guess the more time we give him to see if he can, you know, throw on that cape and really take a team through a postseason fourth quarter, probably yet to be seen. I haven't seen it yet. But if the alternative is having somebody like Tua, who had like all this potential and, you know, top 5 pick and is just, you know, shitting the bed, right, then I think I'll take Bo Nix every day.
Taylor, put this on the poll. Is there anyone you would rather have on the call of that game, Giants-Broncos, than Kevin Harlan? I mean, it's like he met the urgency of what it was that was going on in Denver. Just the urgency of that comeback and the scrambling nature of the Broncos just trying to fight back, claw their way back into that game and get a victory. Kevin Harlan, perfect.
Well, yeah, and it was the type, like, it just felt like it should have been a Giants win. Like you had the Jackson Dart performance, the narrative coming into it was more about them. Like the Broncos, you didn't really know how to talk about the Broncos, but the Giants coming in here dominating this game, and then he still needs that ending, gets the ending, and oh shit, 37 seconds is way too long.
Once he missed the extra point, though, that game was
over.
Almost
Once
all but
he
over.
missed the extra point, you just knew it.
Over. Yeah.
You know how you knew it? Because I'd never heard of that kicker before. And you knew that when he missed his second extra point, it was going to be like, hey, guys, not only is he cut, but it's going to cost him. Like, he's not going to be able to skate by with these 2 extra point misses and be like, okay, I'll be back next week. I remember them showing him on the sideline afterward, and he's probably thinking, what am I going to be doing next Sunday?
Playing the Eagles.
Probably not.
Yeah. No, I don't think they have another kicker. I mean, I think get one off the street. Well, they will have another kicker. I should. Right. That guy's getting cut today.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How does this work if you're a Giant fan? I'm wondering, because that was a devastating loss. It was you could have gotten yourselves to 3-4. I don't think Giant fans were expecting much out of their football team headed into the season. Can you kind of look past that loss because you're so excited that you appear to have this young franchise quarterback who has done nothing but injected your organization with life, with hope? And so I'm wondering how Giant fans absorbed that yesterday.
You've been away
they
from
look
New York
past
too
it
long.
because they have Jackson.
You've been away from New York for too long. This is how this works. If they would have won yesterday, it would have been like the Knicks in the second round of the playoffs. Yes. When the streets were just flooded.
Confetti came down. Right. That was after a playoff win, actually, with the Knicks. Yep.
The level of hype. Yeah, second round. The level of hype that would have been around this Giants team would have gone over the top. It would have been Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterboo for life. And I think they would have been talking themselves into, hey, maybe we can make a little playoff run, maybe at least win a playoff game. Now, nothing really happens. They're just delaying the end. They're not really devastated by the loss because they don't really have high expectations, but they're still happy about their duo. So they're just waiting for their time to celebrate and stick it in everybody's faces. This did hurt a little bit, but not really, not in the place where these, I was about to say Knicks fans, these Giants fans actually are.
Right.
Yeah, I think if you're a Giants fan, to counter your point, Izzy, you have the piece in the quarterback. You have what is probably the piece in your head coach because he's the one that identified hey, this is who I want to be my quarterback.
That's right.
Where you can
have the wide receiver and Neighbors who was hurt, by the way.
Who was hurt.
Yeah.
So now you can kind of build off that and be like, okay, the defensive coordinator, he has to go. We have to find a kicker. The Giants go into every game without an NFL caliber kicker.
It's crazy.
It is unbelievable how many times this Giants team has lost.
It sucks to be the team that can't find the kicker.
No, like 55 yards has become automatic. They can't find a fucking kicker. It's unbelievable. You're right.
And it feels like it's a different kicker every time that we're talking about this, where some teams have trouble identifying their next quarterback. The Giants have the same troubles identifying their next kicker. And it seems like once they do get somebody, they get hurt. But you can hang your hat, Dable, Dart, Neighbors as your core. You got to get rid of the defensive coordinator. You got to find somebody that could identify a kicker.
So this is interesting because, and I said this was the Giants' trump card. This was Dable and Joe Shane's trump card. Hey, we're going to start 0-3. Here's our trump card. His name is Jackson Dart. If he works out, perhaps we'll keep our jobs. I do think Jackson Dart has performed well with Dable as the head coach, Izzy, and we talk about this all the time, rookie quarterbacks, and they're on their 5th offensive coordinator in 4 seasons. You probably want to keep the stability of the Giants organization since it appears that Jackson Dart likes whatever it is that Brian Daboll is selling him. So I do agree with Taylor from this that standpoint. But how do you justify the fact that that same head coach had Daniel Jones signed to be his quarterback, had Saquon Barkley as their running back? Barkley goes to the Eagles, was a Super Bowl last year. It appears all Daniel Jones needed was someone like Jonathan Taylor to be effective, and the Giants couldn't figure that out and make it work. The whole thing, the Giants are fascinating to me. They really are.
Don't be fooled. If Brian Daboll had a good quarterback and a good running back and could do nothing with it, believe that. Like, take note of that. Trust that, okay? Right. Because when Jackson Dart comes out here and does, hey, I'm doing everything possible and we still only have 2 wins, you can't give the coach credit all of a sudden. Like, you've got to see exactly where it's not like Jackson Dart's out there executing a great game plan. In fact, most of what he's doing successfully is on broken plays. And is that Daboll's? Should he get credit for that, for what the quarterback can do on broken plays? I don't think so.
Well, but Izzy, how much of a believer are you in keeping stability for a young quarterback? If you believe in that, then you should probably keep Brian Daboll, no?
Well, it's stability over, like, what are you reinforcing? Are you reinforcing bad decisions, bad things that you're being, taught by this coach? If you are constantly losing, if you've got a locker room that half of them can't stand the coach and are thinking that he's holding them back, and the other half are maybe oblivious. I think it's not the best for a quarterback who has to manage all of that, because he's got to be on the coach's side. He can't go against the coach, because if that gets back to the coach, then it's just, that's not a great relationship to have. So I think you can't just blindly say stability is better when the consistency is, they're consistently bad.
We are presented by FanDuel and the FanDuel Sportsbook. Rashid Rice is back, huh?
I'm telling you, man.
Put that on the bowl, Taylor. Rashid Rice is back, huh?
Yes, I didn't even know he was this good. I'm not going to lie.
He had 2 touchdowns yesterday.
There's a couple things about this game which just had me cracking up. First, I just kept thinking about my bold prediction the other day. I've never been so sure that the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl, thinking that was like a contrary type of
way to step out on a limb, is he? Yeah.
And you just check the numbers and they're favored to win it all, which is effing crazy, okay? But the main thing I learned from this game is never trust Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
Whatever he tells you, the opposite's about to happen. Because even before, like, he famously now got this clip for life where he's trying to get them offside with the hut. And then he just says, this fucking shit never works. And it was like one of those moments where he knows the camera's picking everything up, the mics are picking everything up, and it's like, wow, this is going to be great. And then he goes back to supposedly do it again, and then he runs a play, 1 yard, first down.
Yes.
But even before he did that, like, I was watching him because he's the maestro. He's got control of that quarterback position better than anybody else in the league. And so there's a play where he's, maybe there's trips on the left, and he's talking to the offensive lineman about, like, whatever they're supposed to do right here on the right side. And it's a screen pass to the left. Those offensive linemen were never part of the play, ever. And so it's just whatever he's telling his linemen, whatever he's telling his teammates on the field, he's probably lying. That's how they have such a well-oiled machine that they know what they're doing. Patrick Mahomes knows how to get those signals across. And sometimes I'm going to say some bullshit just to get the defense off. And it works. Like, that stuff actually works.
You see that no-look pass to Rice, by the way?
Yes. Unnecessary. You're already that good.
Yes. There's no need for that. I'm with you. Like, what if that gets picked off and goes the other way? Seriously. What are you doing?
It's just so good, man. And when I say, like, I said this with Mina the other day, like, the know how to win factor with him is greater. I don't say that like people say about coaches, right? Like, oh, he just knows how to win the big. Like, there's actual little details about every single game that some of these quarterbacks or some of these offensive coordinators or some of these head coaches don't pay attention to every single game, every single drive. The one person who has more control of the game than anybody else is the quarterback. And Kansas City just has the perfect one, the perfect robot of a quarterback. He's even leading them in rushing this year. Is that still correct? Like, he might be their leading rusher this season, and you're not even afraid because he's so savvy that he's not going to get hit. It's just such a perfect quarterback, and he is the main reason why I think they're going to win a Super Bowl. But I also think he might be the greatest quarterback ever, and we're only like 5 or 6 years away from him confirming that.
So Pacheco is now their leading rusher with 271.
Congratulations.
Mahomes is right behind him at 250. If we were doing a Monday morning, like who's hot, who's not, stock up, stock down, Mahomes, stock up, stock down, Justin Herbert.
Oh, God, enough of him.
I'm so tired of this Chargers
and
team.
Harbaugh, by the way. Enough.
Like, don't let Tua.
Why don't we do stock up, stock down? I mean, who the fuck cares? Jesus.
Don't let Tua and the fact that Tua is an absolute disaster in Miami distract you from the fact that there's a lot of problems with this Chargers Justin Herbert team. And every time we're ready to crown them as the team that's going to dethrone the Chiefs in the AFC West, they kind of laid down a stinker because that was the most popular pick this week, where it was like, oh, the Colts are riding high. They're due for a letdown. They're going out west. The Chargers, not only did the Chargers look bad playing wise, those uniforms they were wearing.
Oh, terrible.
Get rid of those uniforms.
You don't like those?
Get rid of terrible. You liked them? You did?
Yeah, it's like sunshine on the field.
No.
Oh, terrible. There's plenty of sunshine in LA. They don't need any more. I mean,
it was
I
really
was in
difficult.
San Diego, by the way. Even more sunshine. Yeah.
Well, playing against a team in white, I don't love it.
It would
have been great.
Those uniforms were terrible, Izzy.
A little bit more contrast, but I like them. I would wear it.
No.
But here, so remember when we were talking in the preseason, what it was, I think it was preseason, what it was about Justin Herbert that he doesn't do well? And we were all like, I don't really know. I think it's just late in games, his brain turns off. And I'm like, is that really it? I can't figure it out. And then you watch him at the beginning of this season. I was like, you see, he's got it all figured out. He's fine. And now he's back. Yes. And I don't really quarterback assessment's very difficult. Like, I could tell you everything that Tua's not good at, but I don't think I could tell you what Herbert's not good at. Maybe because I don't watch every single down, but I don't know what he's not good at. Because
he's not good at winning. Yeah.
It's exact opposite of what I just said about Patrick Mahomes. And you're right. That's what it is.
Yes.
Stock up, stock down next.
Oh, yes, please. I've been waiting for this moment my entire life. Yes. Stock up, stock down. Next. This is very exciting. Stock up, stock down. Taylor, just so we're clear here, you have stock up or stock down, on Justin Herbert or the entire Chargers organization?
The entire Chargers organization.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Does that mean stock is up on the Indianapolis Colts? Does that mean that? No.
It could.
Yes.
It could.
Okay. Okay. Well, what do you mean? It's stock up or stock down? I mean,
so you can only level.
You can only reveal one at a time. Stock
okay.
Down. I was just starting stock down with the Chargers.
Okay. So you have started the you have started the betting here on stock down with the LA Chargers. That is your stock down from the weekend. Izzy, do you have a stock down from the weekend?
Oh, yeah, I do have one stock down. I think it's pretty obvious, and I think a lot of people were waiting for the right time to sell. Justin Fields. Wow. If you didn't sell already, it is.
That means at one point your stock was up on Justin Fields, though.
Well, you know what? Right before that -10 game. Yeah, probably would have been. Look, it's just he's had some bright moments, at least early on. I have him on my fantasy team, so I know, as he was an emergency starter for Lamar Jackson, so I know he wasn't terrible for a couple of weeks, but it's just over, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it had to happen with him with the Jets too, because like it's a story that was clearly going to happen, and it's just as predictable as all get out.
Listen, why is it sad that it happened there? That's whatever always happens. I mean, that's where careers going to die.
One time, I want the good story coming out of the New York Jets organization. Just one time.
Well, you won't have it.
The best part about the Justin Fields experience for the Jets fans is the Jets fans ideally want to be in a position where they're having their quarterback to choose from in the NFL draft next year.
Yeah.
Their worry with Justin Fields, too good.
Well, fortunately, the Dolphins don't have to worry about that because Tua is going to lead that team to potentially a 1-16 record, but I don't think it'll be enough. Like, the Jets aren't winning a game, right? Like
the Jets don't want to win a game. They're doing everything they can to not win a game. What, you think Aaron Glenn wants to win a game? Hold on. Hold on, Taylor. You think Aaron Glenn wants to win a game? He is dying to win a game?
So in the NFL, when you're one of the worst teams, I think there's two kinds of cases of losses. A bad loss and then a good bad loss.
Okay.
The Giants loss
bad loss.
A good bad loss.
Yes.
Because you're showing signs of a future.
Right. You have the quarterback. You're just improving your draft position. Correct. You win that game, it's probably not getting you to the playoffs anyway in the long term. Right.
That's why necessarily I don't agree with you every time that you say the Jets are having the good losses, because at the very minimum, it feels like you're starting over next year with your quarterback. It feels like you're starting over next year with your head coach. Aaron Glenn going to potentially be a one and done. And Justin Fields is on the books next year for over $20 million.
Yeah. Or you could go, was it the Brian Flores or Stephen Ross route, and just say, hey, listen, Aaron, let's get to 0-17.
Right.
We'll throw you a bow and keep you around for a second.
I think they're trying to do that. I think,
because it's like.
But here's the problem: here's the problem for me. I don't know if I entrust the Jets organization with having to make a decision. When you have the number one overall pick, there are decisions to make. You have to choose from one of 5 quarterbacks, right? I think the only way the Jets are going to get a franchise quarterback is if they stumble upon one, meaning if they get lucky, meaning 4 teams pick quarterbacks before the Jets and the quarterback just lands in their lap, the one that the other 4 teams should have taken.
Well, I
don't think the Jets can be entrusted with the number 1 overall pick.
They're already going to get lucky if they get the number 1 overall pick. The way it's going to work out, Arch Manning is going to stay in school. There won't be an obvious number 1 pick.
Right.
Fernando Mendoza will be the number 1 pick, and I'm telling you, he will be very good.
Okay.
And so this is why, like, the Jets, it's right there in front of them. They play the Dolphins again.
Right.
They play the New Orleans Saints again.
Yes, they do.
They are in the driver's seat.
They control their own destiny. They do.
Park that bus. Never score again. It's the opposite of what you do in soccer. Never score again. And they've got this thing locked, and they can keep the Dolphins. Like, talk about a miserable season if you're the Dolphins. If they win 2 games, they're both against the Jets, and they look like losers on draft day because they still have Tua, and they're picking number 2 behind the Jets.
Fernando Mendoza.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ.
There's a reason I didn't read that when you wrote it in the chat.
Izzy,
off the tongue.
What are you doing with Fernando Mendoza? Do you just love him because he's from Miami?
No, I have to remind myself that he's from Miami, to be honest. It's just...
I don't think you do, to be honest.
I watched the game last year, Cal and Miami, and he looked good. Okay. And then I've just learned more about him personally. I didn't realize he was 6'5" and just this legit quarterback size. Personally is seemingly a very good dude, super respectful, very humble. And to me, those are qualities that go a long way in any professional athlete, but especially ones at his position, a position of importance like that. And so I just think he's going to be really good. And you watch what he did with Cal, made that team pretty good. Watch what he's doing with Indiana, is making this team very good. And I just think he's the number 1 pick. I mean, the Oregon quarterback, what year is he? Is he even eligible to come out?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, then there's obviously the measurables and everything else you might lean that way, but I think Fernando's great.
Yeah, it seems like he's a family member or something. I mean, the way you talk about him, it does. Yeah. I mean, and if you care about him the way I think you care about him, you would not want him to go to the New York Jets. They're going to break him. I mean, seriously.
And he's creating a family atmosphere over there. Who wouldn't want that out of your quarterback? The guy who creates a family atmosphere. I love it.
Stock down, Jaguars. Stock down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm always down on the Jaguars. I'm always down on Trevor Lawrence, but this is what the Jaguars do. They beat the Chiefs, who Izzy thinks is going to win the Super Bowl, and then they lay an egg at home against Seattle, and then they get blown out in London. They're home away from home by the LA Rams. I mean, I am so tired of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I am tired of discussing whether or not Trevor Lawrence is a franchise quarterback.
Well, that's my point.
He was the number one pick in the draft. He's not. Enough.
Does anybody care? Nobody cares about this. Like, can we move? Sorry, Jacksonville. I mean, I don't want to start another war with another Florida city. Tampa's already on my ass. Right. But Jacksonville, can we relocate that team?
Yeah,
like, I don't think anybody cares.
That's why they play in London so much.
Yes.
I think they're exploring it.
Right. And they're starting to get sick of them in London. They're tired of it. I mean, seriously.
Yes.
And every year they come to London with some hope with this Trevor Lawrence guy, and every year they're left disappointed. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's poor people in London.
I got to stock up.
Stock up. Wow.
The LA Rams.
Oh, Super Bowl contender.
I mean, that's a 5-2 team that lost by 3 points to the Niners. Lost to the Eagles in that was that a blocked kick game, right?
Yeah.
This team could be undefeated right now.
Yes.
Hall of Famer Matthew Stafford is doing his thing.
Passed Dan Marino yesterday, all-time passing yards. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yep.
And 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, and just absolutely cooked the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I think the Rams, look, the NFC, like we discussed, I think with Mina, is pretty loaded at the top. It's pretty top heavy, but this team is right there with them and might be the best of them.
Yes.
And they did it without Puka.
Right. Yeah, Devontae Adams, 3 touchdowns. I mean,
that's a team that they couldn't do anything with Cooper Kupp anymore. They couldn't even keep, and I know there's money involved or whatever, but like they're so loaded at receiver, they don't even need Cooper Kupp, who just won the receiver triple crown a couple of years ago. So I don't know, man. Like, this is an offense that I think will always be there. They're going to put up, 25, 28 points any given game. And if you've got a defense you can trust like this, I don't know. They might be the best team in the NFL.
By the way, if you're interested in Kane's discussion, in college football discussion, Gino Toretta is our guest today on God Bless Football. I have a stock up here. I don't think anyone's stock is up more than this particular player and this team.
Wow, this might be mine.
Player and team. Drake May.
No, what's
New England Patriots. I mean,
that one was
stock
tough.
up on this team. I'm telling you, this team, they might win the AFC East. And if they win the AFC East, they have a chance. I mean, this team has a chance to make a deep playoff run. That's how good this team is. They're good. Mike Vrabel is such a good head coach, and you could tell those players absolutely love Vrabes. They gave him the game ball yesterday. I love that. I love when the quarterback steps up and hands the coach the game ball because it was a revenge game for Mike Vrabel coaching against the Tennessee Titans, a team that fired the coach 5 or 6 games into the season that was hired to replace Mike Vrabel because they didn't like the culture that Vrabel created.
Well, you could tell they interviewed him at halftime, and they were only up, I want to say, 3 points. I think it was 17-30, up 4 points. And he was pissed. Yeah. He was not happy. He really wanted them to sort of step on their neck. And then, 14-0 after halftime, he really did that. But where Drake May's stock, to me, it was difficult to say stock up with Drake May because he was getting so much juice going into this game. Wow, he had a great week last week. Wow, he really is the franchise quarterback that everybody wants. Wow, he might supplant Josh Allen at the top of the AFC East standings. How's he going to get better than that? 21 of 23. 21 of 23, only missed 2 passes and averaged 9.7. So it wasn't just, 3-yard pass here, 3-yard pass there. Like, he's actually running this team especially well. And yeah, it's nothing to write home about to beat Cam Ward and the Titans. But that was the only type of follow-up to all the hype that you could really get from Drake May and say, oh, okay, he is continuing to live up to that. Like, we already thought he was good, and we already knew he needed to beat this Tennessee Titans team. But 21 of 23 with 2 touchdowns and no interceptions, like, that's pretty impressive.
5-2 atop the AFC East. They are 4-0 on the road. Drake May is 4-0 on the road this year. What do you got, Taylor? Taylor, I know your stock up. I think I know your stock up. I was deciding between your stock up and my stock up.
Player?
Team.
Oh, mine's a player. But if you guess the team, you could guess the player.
Caleb Williams.
No, wow.
I thought you were going Chicago Bears and Ben Johnson. That's where I thought you were going.
I've got one, and I'm trying to figure out if you're going quarterback or receiver. Is it one of those two positions?
No, wow.
Oh, wow. Okay, never mind.
We have more stock-up options.
So it's not a quarterback, not a receiver?
Yep.
Oh, wow. This is tough. Is it a coach?
No. It's a player.
Oh, man. All right, give it to us.
My stock up from the Sunday Night Football game, Christian McCaffrey.
Really?
The entire week leading up to this game, you heard Bijan Robinson. He's so great. He's so great. Sunday Night Football was Christian McCaffrey reminding everybody who's who and like, hey, when I'm on, I'm still the best player in the NFL. 129 rushing yards, 72 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. He just put the 49ers on his back and was like, hey, guys, we're going to go win this game. Just follow me. Just follow me. Just give me the ball. I've got the rest.
The rare individual who's game. I mean, that's it. It never happens, but you're right. It did happen last night. I had McCaffrey on my fantasy team. I had a big day.
Who's.
What did I say? Who's?
That's a good one. I've got another stock up.
Okay.
And frankly, it really could only go in one direction if he was on this list.
Bears.
AJ Brown.
Oh. Yeah.
AJ Brown. Now, granted,
stop whining already. I mean,
it was 4 for 121 with 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Granted, it seemed like every ball was either something coming back to the quarterback, which again, I've talked to you about AJ Brown. It's like, how about all the comebacks and all that stuff doesn't really make him a great receiver, but it was either coming back to the quarterback or some broken play. It wasn't like nothing that they did looked like, wow, that was a perfectly executed offensive play. It was, oh, wow, shit's falling apart. Let me throw it out there to AJ Brown. And so I will say that part doesn't make you feel great about the Eagles offense. But the fact that he was willing, meaning Jalen Hurts, willing to throw it out there, found his big targets a bunch of times. Devontae Smith, 9 for 183 with a touchdown as well. I was deciding between Hurts and A.J. Brown for stock up. And Hurts' numbers were pretty, how should I say, Drake May-like. 19 of 23 for 326.
Hurts likes to listen, he feeds them every once in a while, the 2 wide receivers, just so they get off his back. And he also likes to remind people, hey, if I need to throw the ball to win us games, I can throw the ball to win us games. And you can't lose to Carson Wentz. And he knew that.
That was the reason. The reason I went with A.J. Brown over Hurts is because, yes, he did just kind of throw it up there, and his receivers went and got it. So I'd rather give A.J. Brown the credit for having this game.
But I think A.J. Brown's frustration in the overall is that, hey, man, I don't need to be wide open. Just throw it up to me. I'll go get the football for you most of the time, you know? So stock up. Stock up for them. Stock down, Izzy. Let's get to this because we have Gino Toretta coming up to talk college football. Stock down, obviously, on the Dolphins, on Tua. Are you expecting 3 interceptions, back-to-back games, $50 million a year? People are late to his team meetings, player-only meetings. They're late, and he admitted it. He acknowledged it after the game last week. He follows that up, 3 more interceptions. Dolphins lose, get blown out by the Cleveland Browns. And I do wonder what's going to happen here with Mike McDaniel today or later this week. I think they have a bye week coming up this week. So
I don't know if you heard the sound of Tua after the game, but he sounded like somebody who was just trying to find the right word salad to feed this media, contingency who is like ready to say he's done because he's done. Like it sucks that you realize that so soon after you paid him. You guys remember him screaming, "Show me the money," which was not only tasteless, but completely outdated. Hasn't done shit since then. And he went on this sort of rant talking about how he needs to be better, and just words that didn't make any sense. And it made me wonder, like, going back to the origin story of Tua, like, what is it that we loved about Tua? Because even if you go back to his origin story, it was came in at halftime and threw a beautiful pass in the national championship game. So it's not like he took that team on his back from the start. He came in at halftime, was a nice relief pitcher, if you will, and won that game. Was really more known for getting hurt with the hip injury and seeing if that was something that was going to derail his career. There wasn't anything, I guess you could say, people were drooling about with Tua coming out of school. You were almost making the arguments for him because he checked all the boxes for a quarterback that's potentially going to be great. Played at Alabama for Nick Saban, won a national championship, even though he came in relief there. And now you go to the NFL and it's like, ask yourself this question, Stu. what would Tua be like, his career entirely, if he never had Tyreek Hill? I couldn't be good, right?
No.
If he never had Mike McDaniel and that very different offense.
If he didn't have that 1 year where he looked like a competent quarterback, right?
Whatever, I'd say the odds of him having a more experience like he did with Brian Flores than he did with Mike McDaniel would have been more likely. Like if you take Tua with, 20 coaches, I think you're more likely going to have frustrated coaches and a quarterback that's not really giving you anything that says, okay, that's the guy for me. His accuracy is not there. Remember, that's all we talked about with him was accuracy. It's not there, whether it be on the short stuff or the intermediate stuff. And he was never particularly accurate on the long stuff. So you got Mike McDaniel giving up on him, basically saying out loud, hey, if somebody's not performing, we got to sit him. You've got everybody else out, like Jalen Waddle's either not good or Tua doesn't know how to make him good. It's over for Tua Tagovailoa. And now you just got to figure out who else you're going to blame as you go toward the end of the season. Because to me, Mike McDaniel needs another quarterback, another chance with another quarterback. But the rest of the organization, everybody.
Wait, so this is interesting. You would keep Mike McDaniel, get rid of the quarterback who's making $50 million a year. You believe in the head coach, but you don't believe in the quarterback. And the head coach is the only guy who made this quarterback pretty decent. I think here's the problem. I think McDaniel lost Tua. I think Tua and McDaniel combined have lost that locker room. I don't think people believe in either of them, and therefore I don't think Tua can go only because of the finances, okay? He has a chance of at least hanging on, but I think Greer and McDaniel are gone today, or they're gone at some point. At some point, maybe the end of the season, maybe today, somewhere in between. But I think those two guys, their days are numbered down here.
Here's how you can sell McDaniel, okay? I
don't think you can sell McDaniel to the fan base anymore. I really don't.
Here's how.
Buy or sell.
No.
After your pitch.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, this is my first head coaching job. If I don't latch on to who is clearly supposed to be the franchise quarterback, if I don't try to prop him up, if I don't support him in every way possible to try and get the best out of him, we don't have another option. So I have to do that, whether it's real or not, whether I am showing support for him in team meetings, in, huddles or whatever, whether I actually believe that or not, I have to say that. What am I supposed to do? Say, hey, guys, we really need to go with Quinn Ewers for the rest of the season. I don't believe in Tua. No, I have to try to get the best I can out of Tua. We all see what Tua was. Looking back, you're just like, not a great leader. Doesn't really have all those quarterback characteristics. Ran my offense okay, but I needed Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Devon Achane, and all this crazy speed. I think you can sell them on, hey, I've got a real quarterback now. No offense to Tua. We can say that out privately. We can say that publicly, whatever. I've got a real quarterback now. I know this will work with this quarterback. Give me another go. That's sort of the consistency you were talking about within an organization, not necessarily for a quarterback in particular, but within an organization, because I think there's enough people in there that probably respect Mike McDaniel.
I would still fire.
Okay.
I mean, I just would, because he swore to everyone, including me and Dan, right in his office, that this was the quarterback. This is the quarterback. I came here for this.
But don't you have to say that, Stu?
Yeah, well, listen, but he made this quarterback great for a season, and this quarterback, under his tutelage, under his guidance, with him as the head coach, has been a complete embarrassment this year, and the worst quarterback in the NFL over the last 2 weeks. Like, it's over. It's over for him. And now, listen, the sell could be, if you don't keep me on as head coach, I'm going to go to Buffalo or New England and be their offensive coordinator.
Well, so he's not scaring anybody.
And I'm not even certain that would scare anyone anymore.
It wouldn't. But right. He also didn't come to Miami for Tua. There weren't 10 teams pulling at Mike McDaniel saying, come, please be our head coach. Again, it was all stuff you have to say.
But he did. So, it is stuff that you had to say. But he said for his system, okay, for his system, this is the perfect quarterback. He's the most accurate quarterback I've ever seen. That's what he said.
Again,
right.
You have to say that. You have to give him some, because if you're saying, oh, he's the most accurate quarterback I've ever seen, you're picking a quality and saying that's his best quality. You're not saying anything else because they aren't that great. And now that you see him after the league has caught up, after you say to yourself, all right.
Yeah, but they've caught up to McDaniel, not Tua.
Right. So this is the point where you need the player to say, hey, do something. And the player doesn't do anything. Okay, he's not a good
limited quarterback.
He's a limited quarterback. And in terms of how he's going to lead us without his physical ability, with his, that's not there either. It's not.
Don't you think McDaniel's evaluation of Tua went into the Dolphins' decision to give him that massive extension and the reason why it's a $56 million cap hit next year?
Yeah. Yes. But again, it's one of those situations where you have faith in the guy because he did execute your stuff for a year. So it's like, all right, I think we can do this. I don't want to start with somebody new. I have no idea who they're going to bring in. It's not like they're in position to draft somebody in the top 3 again, top 5 again.
Hold on. What Taylor is saying is, if you think that now, you should have thought that before you promoted him and gave him the $50 million a year contract. You should have known that, right?
Sure. Yeah,
you should have known that. Like, it is your job to know if your quarterback's actually very, very good, and it appears that McDaniel didn't know that.
Look, I just don't think that Tua has it. I don't think he is going to elevate anybody else's offense beyond what it's there for. I think Mike McDaniel, though, show me the quarterback option that they had that was better than pay Tua. It just wasn't there. So, yes, the evaluation probably played a part into the long-term financial commitment. But again, it's not like they had a bunch of options in front of them.
Stock down, the Raiders.
When was your stock up? I mean,
why does Pete Carroll need to work